y'all, tonight I'm going to make some pork medallions and smothered potatoes, and I'm going to show y'all how I make my smothered potatoes. They're quick, easy, cheap to make. It's just a classic smothered potato recipe, and there's only a few ingredients, but they're delicious. So here we go. Alright, so as with most of my food, we're going to start off with the onion. We got some bacon and some potatoes and salt and pepper and a little bit of water. That's all that's in them. So I'm going to start by cutting up my onion. Alright, so we have our onion, just one yellow onion sliced. So we're going to be using bacon. And I cut my bacon in half, like each pack I cut it just straight down the middle. I think it cooks more evenly, and that's just the size I like. I don't really know why I started doing that, but I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my bacon down the middle. If I can get my hand in there. Alright. So we got our onion sliced up. We've got our bacon cut up. And we'll peel our potatoes in a little bit, because now we're going to cook our bacon. Alright, so we're going to cook our bacon first. And this is not like a written recipe like most of my stuff. There's not a set amount, so you can put as much bacon as you want. If I had 2 pieces of bacon, then I'd be putting 2 pieces of bacon in it. And the amount of potatoes, I really never know how many I'm going to put in there until I slice them and see how many's in the pan. The really only definite thing about this is an onion, either half of a large or a whole medium. So we're just going to let our bacon cook. Alright, so while the bacon's cooking, I'm going to peel and slice my potatoes. For the bacon, I started on medium just to heat up the pan, and then I turn it down to medium-low. Because in my opinion, bacon, it cooks more evenly, low and slow, and then it's not all curly. But anyways, so I'm cooking my bacon on medium-low right now. I'm going to peel some potatoes, and I don't have a set number of potatoes that I use each time. I peel them and slice them, and then I'll see, if I have enough. So I'm going to peel a few of these potatoes and slice them, and I'll let you know how many potatoes I use. Alright, so we got our potatoes peeled and sliced, and I just slice them about that thin. I know they're not perfect, all the same size, but I guess slice them kind of like a cucumber. And that was 4 potatoes. Yes, 4 potatoes, like 4 medium potatoes. Our bacon's good and crispy. Our bacon's done, and I'm just putting these sliced onions in here, and we're going to cook them, till they're done, till they're translucent. Gonna stir these around. They'll get covered in bacon grease and drop a few. Alright, so I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. I'm not going to use all of this bacon to leave it in the potatoes. I'm going to take 2 pieces of it out. And this is called onion bacon. It's the best kept secret. What you do is you get your bacon crispy, and you put your onions in there, and you let it cook for about a minute or 2, and then you take the bacon out, and the bacon's just covered in this sweet onion glaze. And it is so good. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it. Alright, so our onions are cooked. Now we're going to put in our potatoes. And I don't know how long I cooked those onions for. It was just, I just cooked them till they were tender and translucent. And this little fry pan, it's one of my favorites, and that's why I use it so much. But it is a little bit, almost too small for me to make this in. So I wrestle with it and fight with it, but it ends up working. All I put for seasoning in these is salt and pepper. I just love it. So I put salt and pepper, and then you really taste the potato and bacon and onion, and it's just wonderful. So a little salt and pepper. I'm going to put a little bit more salt. However much seasoning you like put it in there. Now, we're going to take this and just roll those potatoes around and get that mixed up. And this is where I will sling stuff all over the stove. Right, so I've got that all stirred around and mixed up. And now I'm going to turn up my heat to, I'm sorry, that's Rupert Breezy. Quit! Okay. So I've got this all mixed up, and I'm going to turn my heat up to medium. And I'm going to let those potatoes and onions just stick a little bit to the bottom of the pan. Not burn or stick really bad, just stick just a little bit. When you feel it kind of sticking a little bit, and we're going to put a little bit of water in. And again, I don't have a measurement. I just put just a little bit. A little bit more. That's how much liquid you need in it, not much. Bring that up to a boil. And as soon as it starts boiling, we're going to turn it down to medium and put a top on it and let it cook till the potatoes are done. And every once in a while, you're going to want to stir them. And the potatoes will start falling apart and all that, but still stir them so they don't stick to the bottom of the pan, especially if you're using a pan this small. But that's what's good, is the pieces all fall apart and mix up with the onions, and it just makes them so good. So this has come to a boil. I'm going to turn it down to medium, and I'm going to put my top on it and let it cook. I'm going to stir it probably, I'm going to come back in about 5-10 minutes and stir it. So just watch it. It's been 15 minutes. Potatoes are getting done. I'm going to let them cook at least another 5 minutes. But I just take them and kind of scoop under and flip over. And I have food all over this stove, so I'm sorry about that. I've got pork medallions over here, and there's onions all over the stove. Alright, so it has been 22 minutes, and our potatoes are all done. Alright, well, thanks so much for joining me. Maybe this will help you out on a night when you need to just throw a side together real quick and don't have many ingredients on hand. I was also going to say, if you don't like onions, you don't have to put onions in it. You could add garlic if you wanted. You could use ham or tasso instead of bacon. Or you could do it with just butter and no meat. But anyways, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.